Hello and welcome to Kakaki Sports. Once again, I am Simbe Shima. Well, we're still here at the Ogun State National Sport Festival, the 22nd edition of the festival happening live here in Ogun State. And like promised, we'll be giving you highlights and updates as they come up until the end of the festival. And joining me this morning to do justice to that is once again, it's my sports correspondent, Tolu Ogutime. Tolu, good morning and welcome to Kakaki Sports.
It's a wonderful time to be with you. We're enjoying every moment of the Ogun State Sports Festival, and it's good to be with you this morning.
I mean, at this point, I'll say you're my co-host. But now let's get right into it. I mean, it's been an interesting one so far. Day 3 of the festival after the opening ceremony. Events, medals have started coming in. Let's quickly take a look at the medal table. Is it shocking to you that Bayelsa State are on top of the table and defending champions Delta are somewhere around 9th position?
I saw this coming when we talked about this day for yesterday, when we were talking about the performance of some of these states right there. I saw this coming after monitoring what went down at the South National Sports Festival right there. They have given us an inkling. For the past 3 years, Bayelsa have been consistent when it comes. Bayelsa State have been consistent when it comes to the National Sports Festival right there. So I'm not surprised they are currently topping the medal table at this point in time. But a whole lot of things can happen, because so many things are gradually happening. Competitions are gradually unraveling. So we get to see what gets to happen in the coming days.
All right, quickly now, focusing on FCT, which is one of the contingents for the sport festival, and then you are a sports reporter from the FCT. What do you make of their performance in the festival, and how would you rate it basically on the medal table, looking at after events that took place on day 3?
Yeah, initially I was a little bit scared, not worried about the performance of FCT, but I'm quite surprised that yesterday they won some couple of medals right there. They won from IU, they won from golf. Hopefully when the medal table is updated right there, we can see FCT moving up the table right there. And you know, one of the strongest points for FCT, we talked earlier on, we talked about football. Another sports area, another area is taekwondo, and I still expect them to win some couple of medals in taekwondo and a couple of other sports right there. So I'm really impressed. They started very well, winning gold in golf, winning 2 gold medals in IU. It's a wonderful step for them, and hopefully as events unravel, we get to see FCT winning more medals. I really want to see the support, the backing from the FCT minister talking about Yeson Wike. What he did in Rivers State, we thought we are hopeful to replicate that also in the Federal Capital Territory. So I'm sure the FCT are contingent are properly catered for, and they can be able to step up to the next level. But I'm not sure whether they can give them the kind of package Ogun State have for the athletes right there, because what happened today is really something that a lot of states need to copy when it comes to giving recognition to your athletes.
Talking about Ogun State, you just brought the cat out of the bag. Ogun State, I mean, they kicked off the swimming campaign, swimming event today with a gold medal. I mean, the first medal for the event, and it came from Ogun State, the 800 meters freestyle. Your thoughts on the young lady, the 15-year-old that actually clinched that gold medal for Ogun State in 10 minutes, 22 seconds there.
An impressive performance from Tobiloba right there. She came all the way from UK. She was discovered here, went abroad, came back from UK to be part of this. Impressive performance by Tobiloba there for really coming back from UK to represent his state. And I'm also impressed with what the Ogun State governor is doing right there when it comes to motivating this athlete. A massive 2.5 million naira for gold medal, 1.5 million for silver, and also looking at the amount of money for bronze. The athletes will go all the way, and they are one of the largest contingent at this festival right there.
As a host nation.
As the host nation right there. So that's why I think so many things are bound to happen at this festival. It was going to be a departure from the past. The dominance of Delta is under threat right now. We're seeing what Bayelsa is doing, and we're expecting Lagos State to also step up. And also don't forget in the old state, Ogun State, there's a possibility we are going to have a new champion at the end of this festival.
Right, indeed. Hopefully we'll get to have a new champion. It will not be Delta State, rather, making a return as champions of the National Sport Festival for a second consecutive time. But we hope that in the coming days, the medal table will take a different shift. As right now it stands, Bayelsa State at top of the table, Osun State, rather, is on 2nd place. And then we have Rivers State as well in 3rd place. And the IJA, that's the IJA, invited junior athletes. I mean, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, quite performance. They won 2 gold medals yesterday. Hopefully, in the coming days, they are going to win more medals in football and some other areas. I'm really happy with this initiative coming from the National Sports Commission, creating an avenue for these young athletes to really be able to challenge the current standings right there. And I'm impressed with their performance so far. Let's hope they can continue on that same wavelength. It's going to be quite impressive to see how far they go. But it's also a good avenue for some of our national team to prepare. We saw the under-17 Golden Eaglets participating also also the under-17 girls also participating. So it's a good preparatory grant for them ahead of the international competition. Like I said, I hope they're going to take some medals off some of these
Big
states.
boys.
Yes, you want to put it that way at this festival.
All right. Well, now let's move away from other issues. Now talking about the Rugby Federation, and we know that initially we heard or we were aware as journalists that the Rugby Federation or the rugby game was supposed to be part of the National Sport Festival, but for some reason they couldn't make it. And the Federation president has actually come out to tell us why that happened. So let's quickly take a listen to that.
Rugby is primed to take part in National Sports Festival. But because of certain circumstances, we did all we could. The DG approved, announced our participation. But at the end of the day, in democracy, the majority have the say, and that was what happened to us. And I want to promise, by the special grace of God, that will not be happening to us again in subsequent games.
So to look quickly, you've heard the president. He said why rugby was not part of the event scheduled for the National Sport Festival this edition. What do you make of this? His explanation.
Under his administration, he has done so much for rugby. Nigeria, he came on board when Nigeria was under ban from International World Rugby. He has been able to ensure that the ban has been lifted, and now Nigeria participating in international championship. And this being part of this National Sports Festival would have been a good avenue to prepare, because we have a tournament coming up right after the Sports Festival, and it would have been a good avenue to see some of these players that will be representing Nigeria at international competition. That's how painful it must have been for the president, but he has been able to take it as water under the bridge, and he's looking forward to the next National Sports Festival. He's optimistic that he can really get that done. He got the support of the DG of National Sports Commission, pushing to see how rugby can be part of it. Unfortunately, the Council of Sports Commissioners didn't allow it because they talked about logistics. But hopefully, looking forward to the next National Sports Festival, those logistics could have been worked out, and rugby can be part of the National Sports Festival. Rugby is a sport that is here to stay. We have our body physiognomy has a tendency to be able to play rugby very well. So we are hopeful that this can be done at the end of the day.
Indeed, we hope that more events will get to be featured in the National Sport Festival, talking about one of Nigeria's Olympics, or should I say Nigeria's own Olympics Games. Moving away from that, now let's focus on the economic benefits of the National Sport Festival in Ogun State. And we caught up with the DG, who spoke on some of the benefits that Ogun State has gained from hosting the National Sport Festival. Let's take a listen.
In 2006, I remember, and I'm still friends with a few people who became multimillionaires from the games. It's the same thing that will happen now. We need to start telling the world that sport is as important as tech. Sport is as important as health. Sport is education. Sport is infrastructure development. It is all stakeholders, the media, entrepreneurs, administrators who tend to talk down on sport. We need to stop it. Sport is as important to humanity as breathing.
So Tolu, now the DG has told us that Ogun State is benefiting so much from hosting this festival, but however states are running away from the opportunity to host this festival. But for you, what do you make of this? Being that you're part of this environment, do you think Ogun State have actually gained so much from this?
No doubt about that. I remember on the opening day of this tournament, when I came into the stadium, I saw the amount of business that is going on. People are making so much money because kiosks are being open daily, because people are trying to really galvanize. Some of the food under normal circulation you would have bought for maybe 500 naira is being sold for 22,000 naira. So you can imagine the massive amount of gain people are making. But not only that, for the next 10 days, people are going to be part of this place. People are going to be making money, and there's no better way to get to the grassroots than through sport. And I think for so many people who are talking about empowering the youth, empowering the people at the grassroots level, there is no better way. Hosting competition of this magnitude is the best way to really get down to the grassroots. And I hope people can take a cue from this. The last time Ogun State hosted this festival, they declared profit. And there's a possibility they're going to do that, because we see so many sponsors rolling on them to be part of this. And with that massive opening ceremony, a lot of people out there will say, okay, this thing can really happen. And when you look at the amount of people that are making money doing business by the sideline, Zobo business, tailoring business.
You and Zobo,
yeah, I can't take anything away from that right there. But I can imagine what amount of money that people are going. How it's just going down to the lower people at the lower strata of the society, and that's a massive one. And for other states who are having doubts about hosting, I think hosting a sporting competition of this magnitude is a jackpot. And I think Ogun State has realized that, because there are so many activities lined up after the National Sports Festival, where the under 17, under 18, and under 20, under 20 championship, the Super Falcons will be coming here, and also the WAFU under 17. So you can imagine what this will mean for people. What this will mean for people of Abeokuta for the next 1 month. They'll continue to make big money. They continue to make more money, and that's the way they can take care of some of their responsibility. There's no better way to get it to the people at the grassroots than through sport. And I think other state governors must also realize that you are not throwing money away. You are empowering society, empowering the people, and there's no better way for people to see you in that wonderful light than you hosting a sports a championship of this magnitude.
Right, indeed. I mean, I pick a word from Tolu where he said hosting something as magnified, as very big as the National Sport Festival is a jackpot for any state. And indeed, Ogun State, as it is now, has landed themselves a jackpot, and hopefully Enugu State will be looking at, making the best out of the National Sport Festival for the next edition. But thank you so much, Tolu, for being a part of the show today.
It's been a privilege.
All right, indeed. That's our package on Kakaki Sports. Thanks for being a part of it. I am Simbe Shima. Keep watching AIT Sports for more updates.